Hi everyone, we're here today with Brenda Milewski with the Washington Asian Inequality, talking about Referendum 88. Would you like to go ahead with your presentation?
Thank you very much. And I first want to say thank you for inviting Washington Asian Equality. They contacted me to see if I can come up and to provide some clarity in regards to the initiative 1000 and Referendum 88. They're looking at encouraging people to reject both. The reason being is that we look at it as creating more of a problem than trying to create a solution. The concerns are that when it comes to employment or consideration for employment, especially for contracting jobs or bid for contracting jobs, that there's not a fair assessment so that each person will have an equal rights to be able to petition for those jobs and have a fair look. With the affirmative action, it already provides that. The thing is that it provides that foundation so that the individual knows that when they sit before a panel, they know that they cannot use their age, they cannot use their color, they cannot use their gender, race, and so forth on that. That was considered racism. That was considered not right. With 1088, granted, they might have added a couple more things onto the initiative, but the problem is, I encourage everybody to read the full text. And this is where I got caught off guard myself. I mean, I got caught off the shorts with this, and even for myself, because I'm a veteran, and it affects the veterans. When you read the full text, the wording will take you by surprise. Because the way this is going to work, they're going to have a panel board assigned or delegated by the governor. These people are going to inform these individuals in what jobs they can go to, what is their best fit, all right? It states, when I saw that this past Thursday at the courthouse, I was blown away. And it's in that text, so I encourage you to read the full body, not the summary, in regards to that. It states that it will make the decision on what race should be able to apply for the certain positions that's offered or available to the individual. We don't need something like that that has a wording in there that states that someone will make the decision for you. We don't want wording that states that, you know what, you already have too many Asians in this workplace, we're gonna cap that, and then you need to add on this particular race. When you do that, the problem is that it's not based on the person's experience. That goes out the door. And so we looked at that as a concern. We want equality for employment. That we're not denying. We want people to be employed. That we're not denying. But how you go about it, all right, we believe that's a little deeper core than having a government saying that we will assist you to employ. When you look at what we have in the community, we have a plethora of different organizations that helps those who are disabled to be employed. We have, for an example, an organization at Fort Lewis called Skookum. They're open to help those who are disabled to be employed. So some of these things that they're trying to identify, it already exists in multitude of areas, communities, and institutions. The thing is they're looking at the assessment where if an HR or an employer looks at the individual, they want to make sure that the person's looking at them and not using any of their humanistic factors against them, which is their race or their gender, their age, sex, whatever the case may be. It's not there. You have to have full evidence to show that. It's not there. For the veterans, all right, we will have a very difficult time. People are misunderstanding the 5 to 10 point preference for veterans. The preference is used not for employment. We can't get employed with that. What the 5 and 10 point preference does is says, will you consider certain military people to be in the same equivalency as those with a college degree for that position? So for an example, you have those who are logistics or mechanics or nurses. Instead of them coming out, which was a battle for us, and go, we gotta step at the ball of the battle because you're not looking at us based on our qualifications anymore. You're just looking at us as a soldier that doesn't have skills. That's not the case. Our skills, I'm not trying to puff it, but our skills, we have already exceeded by the time you finish your college degree in nursing. So the thing is that with this initiative, it makes it a challenge now because they took those points away. If we say approve to this. Last note, because my time is up, is that with the 5 to 10 point veteran preference, it was never ever part of affirmative action. Not even close to the write-up. So it was drawn into these initiatives because they looked at it as it was a preferential treatment, but not understanding how that works. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Now we'll open up to questions. We've got Hannah, Matt, then Summer.
So real quick, I just, you cited a lot of organizations that already exist and a lot of the work that's already being done. But in, one, I think this does not actually have anything to do with the private sector, correct? It is just about public employment.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Correct.
So, within the public employment and contracting then, these are the numbers that I have, and I'll ask you a question at the end. The Office of Minority and Women's Business Affairs reported that 3.3% of public contracting dollars were spent on women and minority-owned businesses in 2017, and that was down from 13.3% in 1998, the year that I-200 was passed. So a 10% decline in public dollars being spent on minority and women-owned businesses. Would you consider I-200 a success?
Yes, I do, because you have to understand the process. I'm registered on the OMBLWE.
As am I.
All right? So the thing is, as you know, there's a process. That person has to be willing to go through that process.
Correct. However, there are no actual equity measures requiring.
And that's my point. All right, because we can cite one side of this is what we physically see based on the report, but we have not spoken to the individuals who failed to or did not follow through.
So do you think women and minority-owned business owners like you and I are 10% less effective than we were 10 years ago? Or 10% less hireable?
I don't say less effective. That's
less hireable?
Less hireable? No, I can't
less
say
good
that.
at our jobs?
Say again?
Less good at our jobs?
No.
Less competitive?
Less competitive.
Okay, so the only thing I can find then that we have a 10% decrease in public dollars over the last 10 years is the ability for companies to hire white men more easily with I-200.
Understood. The thing is, once again, I'm gonna go back to it, all right? Because there's a lot more than what's on paper.
Great, and this is why members at the Port of Seattle, at various operations within the city of Seattle, public education, University of Washington have all shown up against what you're talking about because they have said their hands have been tied when it comes to diversity hiring.
No.
Yes.
No, and I'm gonna tell you no. This is the other reason. If you forgot about what happened a couple of years ago, all right, with the investigation, all right, a fraudulent thing, it's a no. Because once again, all right, we are not looking at the deeper root of why, okay? There is a deeper root and no matter what you do, okay? So the thing is that if the individuals are willing to go through the process, their hands are not tied, and I'm gonna speak as an African American, their hands are not tied.
No, the company's hands are tied. That's what I'm saying. The University of Washington, Department of Education, Washington State, Attorney General's office have said that their hands are tied in diversity hiring because of I-200. That they cannot hire the way they want to.
No.
Okay.
No.
I'll see the floor to anybody else who has a question.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry, but that's not the case, all right, from there. The thing is that if you want something to go through, then you will make that possible, all right? The thing is that whatever person's sitting in that seat, they will make that possible. All right, and historically that's been so. All right, so the thing is, no, I'm sorry, affirmative action does not hold that back, all right? If the individual wanna make things work, they will make it work.
No, affirmative action helps with diversity hiring.
It helps with diversity hiring, but there's a time.
And that's something that they can't do in the last 10 years.
Let's move on. All right.
Yeah.
Next question, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just wanted to follow up on two things that you said. in your statement. The first thing you said is you encouraged everyone to read the full bill, which
Read the
makes
full
sense.
text, yeah.
My second question is you gave an example where the commission overseeing affirmative action could say, and your exact example was, you have too many Asians in a workplace.
Mhm.
What exact line in the text says that they can say you have too many?
I don't have that, the individual, the lawyer that had that showed it, so I was trying to get the full text, so I haven't, obtained that, and that's why I'm encouraging everybody to obtain that document. You will see it full blown in writing.
So, I just wanna ask a clarification then. So, you read the full document,
I read the full, that Thursday when I was in court, I read the document.
but you didn't see anything that said specifically.
No, it didn't say specifically Asians, they gave it as an example.
Right, but did it say that, did it say there was a cap or quota in the?
Understood, they didn't use the word cap and they didn't use quota, they stated that they will make the decision, all right, of which race, all right, and gender is gonna be able to afford to be able to be placed in a particular workplace position.
But that doesn't, okay, let me rephrase the question then. So what is it, forget what the lawyer said, but
Okay.
what is it specifically that you read that came off to you as saying, you know, I, Commissioner Matt,
Right.
could say, you have too many Asians?
It wasn't from the lawyer, she opened the document and showed it to me, so I physically read it.
Right, but I mean,
Okay.
even if you're paraphrasing, like,
Yeah.
what did it say?
Paraphrasing, it stated that the individual people that is appointed by the governor will make the decisions,
Okay.
all right? They're gonna make the decisions, all right, of what race, all right, gender and so forth are gonna be placed,
Okay.
all right? That's what bothered us the most, is that the wording of that bothered us.
Okay, next question, Summer?
My question is, actually am a labor and employment lawyer in the public sector, and I just want to point out, you talked about how it is only applicable to public jobs, but public jobs include a property right to your job once you pass tenure. They include full benefits, and they include the opportunity to apply for other jobs. So public jobs are often in today's, especially in our economy, where so many private employers are going to no benefits or
Correct.
independent contractors.
Correct.
Often government jobs are very coveted because they are a security for people that we don't see often in today's world.
Correct.
And so to me, isn't it important to undo institutionalized racism? And the current laws that we have on books, and I work with these laws every single day,
Mhm.
I would liken that to equality. Whereas affirmative action, I liken that to equity, which is saying we're gonna try to undo institutionalized racism and say that we do want our civil workers with these amazing benefits to represent the state that we live in. Would you agree with that?
No, because right now, my husband's trying to be employed, he's military, veteran, going for a contract job.
And thank you for your service.
I appreciate you, thank you so much, I'm enjoying this, so not to worry. Yeah, so the thing is that my husband right now is trying to be employed in a contract job, okay? So, as you know, my name is Milewski, okay, so you can't get any more than that, all right? So he has been trying now for the past 6 months. Okay, so the thing is that the affirmative action in regards to the, type of race institution, how do you call it? For us, we don't look at it that way as that, if that's the only issues in regards to decision making, all right? We're looking also at our age, all right? We're looking at the person going, do I wanna hire and pay this person the amount of money because of their age? Because we really don't wanna give them the insurance because it's gonna cost us money. There's more factors in this process of employment